That's because the other stock that's buzzing, Crompton Greaves, the market has given it a thumbs down. That company announced that it has plans to pick up a 41% stake in Avantha Power and Infrastructure, a group company. We are now joined by Mr. S.M. Trehan of Crompton Greaves on the phone line. Mr. Trehan, can you explain the rationale of this decision? Mr. Trehan?
Yeah, speaking.
Yeah, can you explain the rationale of this decision to buy up Avantha?
Yes, Crompton Greaves strongly feels there is a good future for investment in power generation in the country. There is a shortage of both peak and energy in the country. And getting into a company which is already producing 125 megawatt, another 3 months will be going to produce 165 megawatt, another 40 megawatt coming into play. And in advanced stage with all land acquisitions done, long-term coal linkages done, water allocation done, Ministry of Environment and Forests terms of reference approved, coming with the 2 into 600 megawatt projects, making an entry into that at book value.
Mr. Trehan, your point is taken on the book value, but the bigger question that shareholders are asking is, especially after the recent episodes that we have seen, is that shouldn't you have taken, even though it's not required, shouldn't you have taken a shareholder note before going for this? Because we have had recent instances in the past where the markets haven't liked this kind of investments.
Do with this. Let's understand what is corporate governance and what is transparency.
I'm not raising corporate governance issue here. I'm just saying that could you have gone to shareholders and taken a note before?
It is not required by law with this sort of an investment of just 227 crores with the size of Crompton Greaves and its free reserves under Section 372A. It's not a marginal case. There's a huge gap.
No, Mr. Trehan, sir, your point is well taken. The issue really is that the stock markets have been kind of worried by intra-group.
I normally don't comment on stock market speculative price rise and down. We are here to run the company in the best interest of
your point is taken, Mr. Trehan. Your point is
model.
taken. Your point is taken, Mr. Trehan. But did you evaluate rival choices? Did you look at other rival power companies that you may have taken?
Number of power companies were looked at, and this is the best valuation where at book value we could get into.
Can you share some comparisons
that
you
would
may
be
have?
fair. The offers which we didn't go for will not be fair to talk of that.
Mr. Trehan, got about 4 or 5 brokerage reports on the same, and the consensus is that it's a bit of a thumbs down, especially because considering the fact that even if you are valuing the company at book value, the business that Avantha is in right now, it's not finding too much funding. The business overall, you've seen a lot of companies which are listed being available at half-time book or about 4.4x book.
How many companies have coal linkages tied up, land for the project already tied up, the long-term linkages done, water allocation done, TOR approved, Ministry of Environment and Forest clearance is done, EIA study completed, LOI issued for the main plant equipment, engineers appointed at this stage. We are talking on a paper project, or are we talking on a real project which is in advanced stage of an IPP of 2 into 600 megawatt?
Mr. Trehan, if you can tell us how EPS accretive this project will be in FY10, in FY11?
It will be accretive, and I don't give normal figures because of forward-looking statements. But if you look at this company's next year's profit will be about 45 crores. You know how much we have invested. You can easily calculate that it's going to add to the accretive earnings per share of Crompton Greaves.
Would you have to raise any money from the market or from banks?
We won't be raising any money from the market or the bank. These are all cash and internal accruals of Crompton Greaves standalone company, and we still have cash of the foreign 100% subsidiaries of Crompton, which will also not be touched.
Mr. Trehan, I just come back to this question again. I know you have said that it's not required to take a shareholder note, but what I'm saying is that the stock has fallen about 25% in last 2 days. So sure, there are concerns from shareholders. In that sense, if the feedback is that this deal is not good for Crompton Greaves, would you at some point reconsider this deal?
No, we will not reconsider because we are strong. The board and myself personally as management and at board are convinced that this deal is in the best interest of Crompton Greaves shareholders.
And what about this 41%? Do you plan to take it to 51%?
No, we will not be taking it to 51 because we don't want to burden the Crompton Greaves balance sheet with the debt of a power project, because we have our own plans of growing into the other three wings also. This is going to be the fourth wing in our power T&D, in our industrial drives and automation motors and consumer products. So it will be a strategic investment. That means it will be anywhere greater than 26 to less than 51.
Okay, Mr. Trehan, we'll leave it at that. Thanks a lot for joining in. Well, the markets, the stock itself has come off its lows. It was down about 23% intraday and is now down just about 10%.